It is another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the films of March 12th, 1999. 5 movies to be exact, and most of them are pretty bad movies. Really, really bad movies. This is probably the worst week for movies in 1999, and we're going to get through all of them right now, so bear with me. Let's jump right on into it. We'll start off with the biggest new release of the weekend, which really isn't saying a whole lot because it was a big bomb. The Rage, Carrie 2.
Dear Rachel, sorry I got dissing you. What does he see in her? Like, he should at least be seeing you someone cool. Treating you like dirt. And trying to steal your boyfriend. No hard feelings, okay? So you want to know how I'm feeling today?
The Rage, Carrie 2, rated R, starts Friday.
Yeah, you know it's bad when they can't even put Carrie 2 as the main title for this. It's got to be the subtitle. And, yeah, this was never meant to be a sequel to the original Carrie. It was originally written as an original film called The Curse. It did not have any connection to the Carrie novel or film whatsoever, but was eventually rewritten into a direct sequel to the 1976 film. And it has the younger half-sister of Carrie White, also suffering from telekinesis, which finds that her best friend's suicide was spurred by a group of popular male classmates who exploit her for sexual gain. You can start to see where the problem with this movie comes into play here. This takes place in the 1990s. How is she the half-sister of Carrie? I mean, this is... actually, no, that actually makes... this still doesn't make any sense here, because they say she's the half-sister of Carrie White, who in the original film was played by Sissy Spacek, but in this film she's played by Emily Burgle. Actually, no, she's not. This isn't even the same person in that movie. I mean, I'm trying to remember this, because it's been a while since I've seen this film, and, like, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like, how is this person related to Carrie in any way, shape, or form? But the first film took place in the 70s. Like, that's one of the major problems with this movie here, and then trying to connect it to the original film. It can't work like that. And, yeah, you could say that Emily Burgle's doing a good job playing Rachel in this, but it's just a Carrie remake for the MTV generation of the late 90s. I mean, there's nothing about this movie that says it's a direct sequel to the original film. Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's not based off the Stephen King movie, even though Stephen King wanted his name on this, but then again, Stephen King will put his name on anything except for good films like The Shining, but, yeah, this movie's terrible. This is a terrible, terrible movie. It's nothing but a retread of the original film, and basically the same premise to it, and, like, it had kind of a resurgence during the Me Too movement's early days, but at the same time, though, it's just a remake of the it's just the original film all over again. It's a remake disguised as a sequel, and basically, we've learned that Carrie worked the first time, and it should never have been attempted to be rebooted ever again, because we had the NBC TV movie that was supposed to launch into a TV series that was terrible too, and then we had the Chloe Moretz remake that happened about 10 years ago, which was, nothing special, but at the same time, though, this film is just... It's a bad movie. It's a bad movie, and you can praise the leading actress all you want to in this. I mean, she's fine in here, but still... You expect so much more for a follow-up to Carrie, and this was not the way to do it. And just basically, with everything they tried to do with the original film, they should have just left it dead. Just leave it after the first movie and be done with it. But nope, can't have that. So we have this movie here, The Rage, Carrie 2. So let's keep going on the train of BS with Chow Yun-fat and Mark Wahlberg in The Corruptor.
The police commission is promising safe streets in Chinatown. Detective Daniel Wallace. Detective Nicholas Chen.
Why does a white cop request to Agent Gang a chance to work with you?
You don't change Chinatown, it changes you.
Two men who can't be bought. Two cops who won't be stopped. Chow Yun-fat, Mark Wahlberg. The Corruptor. Rated R, coming soon.
So I guess they were trying to do for Chow Yun-fat what they did with Jackie Chan a couple years ago at New Line Cinema. And you basically have the story here about, with the aid of a New York City policeman played by Mark Wahlberg, you have a top immigrant cop trying to stop drug traffickers and corruption by immigrant Chinese triads. But things get complicated when the triads try to buy the policeman. And it's hard to believe this is coming from the same director who gave us Glengarry Glen Ross. I mean, what a difference in quality between that movie and this film. But, truth be told, it's probably the best film that came out this weekend, honestly. And even then, it's not really saying a whole lot here. I mean, Chow Yun-fat doing what he does best, works fine in here. Mark Wahlberg playing the typical role you expect from this guy, is trying to create like a Rush Hour, Lethal Weapon type of vibe here. Except there's no real comedy in this. It's played straight up for action thriller purposes, and it just doesn't have the spark it really needs to get it going like I think they wanted to. I mean, Chow Yun-fat can be a really good actor, but even he can't really save this movie from going over the edge too much there. And like, James Foley clearly deserves much better than this. Like, it's hard to believe this is the same guy that gave us Glengarry Glen Ross. And talk about the difference in quality between this and that, Glengarry Glen Ross. But I mean, like I said, still better than anything else that came out this weekend. Case in point, our next film, Baby Geniuses.
Language. We just don't understand them.
He's delusional. Don't have a cow, Basil.
TriStar Pictures presents South, the story of what can happen when babies know too much,
You the one, baby.
speak too well,
I gotta get a disguise. Smoky.
and get a little too big for their diapers.
I don't know what you're feeding our kids, but we're gonna get some.
Baby Geniuses. Rated PG.
Speaking of great directors who took a major step down from their previous works, would you believe that this is the same guy that gave us films like Black Christmas, Porky's, and A Christmas Story? I wouldn't believe it, but unfortunately this is what happens. You basically have a story that really kind of explains itself. These babies are basically geniuses. They can talk like humans, they can talk like him, and they're also super spies apparently. And this film had the distinction of being the first full-length feature to use CGI for the synthesis of human visual speech. 2D warping techniques were used to digitally animate the mouth shapes of the babies, which were really shut with their mouths closed, which should have been the way to do it. You should have done it like Look Who's Talking, but no. We got to give this the 90s edge because we have this technology that we can use now to make these babies actually move their mouths. And bad move on that part. In fact, everybody in this movie, it's a bad move on their part. Kathleen Turner, bad move. Christopher Lloyd, bad move. Kim Cattrall, bad move. Peter McNichol, really bad move. Ruby Dee, really bad move. What more do I even need to say about this movie? This is a terrible film that somehow made its money back. This thing only cost $12 million, and it was apparently enough of a success that Sony basically made a sequel with Bob Clark again. Again, what a downfall from A Christmas Story almost 20 years prior to this. It's just wow, man. Like, did it really get that bad for you? I don't think I need to say anything more about this one. This is a terrible movie, Baby Geniuses. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the next film, The Deep End of the Ocean.
Is this possible?
He came to the door to mow lawns.
After 9 years,
The fingerprints match.
her son is home.
He doesn't know who we are. He doesn't remember us.
But a house isn't a home
I don't see why I have to live here.
unless the people inside
I've been doing fine without you.
I don't think you have been, Vincent.
are a family.
All I want is for us to be happy.
You'll let me do what I have to do.
Michelle Pfeiffer, The Deep End of the Ocean, rated PG-13.
So yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer and Treat Williams, who are this couple who they get a family's reaction when their youngest son is kidnapped. They find him 9 years later, living in the same town where his family had just moved, and the trials and tribulations that follow after this. And I was almost expecting them to go a Lifetime Movie of the Week, because this is literally a TV movie of the week. And the only reason it's on the big screen because A, Michelle Pfeiffer, B, you have Whoopi Goldberg in there too, and C, it was the first novel selected by Oprah Winfrey on her Oprah's Book Club back in 1996 when the book came out. And I guess that was more than enough to make a movie off of this and put it on the big screen. But really, there's nothing about this that's worthy enough for the big screen. This feels like a Lifetime Movie of the Week, a movie that you'd see on the CBS TV Movie of the Week or something like that. It's just a schmaltzy, gimmicky movie, and everybody in here is really wasted in here. There's not given a whole lot to do. The writing isn't that good. It's a bland story. There's nothing all that spectacular about it. It's a forgettable mess of a film. It's a major misfire. One of Michelle Pfeiffer's two major misfires in 1999. We'll get to the other one a little bit later in the year, but that's The Deep End of the Ocean. So let's go ahead and get to probably the biggest flop of the entire weekend, which is saying a whole lot, Wing Commander.
Stations, the Rocky ships are closing.
What is this thing?
Earth's last home is a new generation of warrior.
Lieutenant Christopher Blair. Todd, Maniac Marshall. I got 2 bogeys coming in hot.
Let's do it.
Freddie Prinze Jr., Matthew Lillard, Wing Commander.
Woo! I love this baby!
Rated PG-13. March 12th, only in theaters.
So the premise is that it takes place in the mid-27th century. The Terran Confederation is at war with the Felinoid Kilrathi Empire. After destroying a Terran base, the Kilrathi have seized a Navcom with the hyperspace jump coordinates to Earth. With Terran reinforcements scheduled to arrive 2 hours after the Kilrathi hit Earth, it falls upon the starfighter carrier TCS Tigerclaw to kill the Cathri Busy. And you have Freddie Prinze Jr., Matthew Lillard, Saffron Burrows in here. A decent cast overall, but a film that just has no reason to really exist. Nobody was really asking for this. The games were fun, but this is hardly based off of the games, despite the fact that it has the same the creator directing this, which is probably the first mistake there. You should have gotten a more known director to direct this and actually make something out of it. And it was a massive flop when it came out, not surprisingly. It only brought in $11 million on a budget of $27 million. It had a small budget, and it couldn't even make that back. Couldn't even make half of that back. It's just like, this is a film that, and Freddie Prinze Jr. himself has later gone on to say that he can't stand Wing Commander. He can't stand watching it. He read the script and loved it. So did Matthew Lillard, and we both got the parts. We went on location. They said, "Here's the new script," and it turned out to be a piece of crap. Like they pulled the screw job on them. It's just like I can't believe that this is I couldn't believe when watching this how bad this movie really was. Like I remember seeing the trailers for this all the time on Nickelodeon back in the day, and they really thought they were going to sell this and actually make a hit out of it. And needless to say, that did not work. The movie has since been long forgotten, and for good reason. And Wing Commander itself has pretty much stayed out of obscurity for a long period of time until they put it. The last game came out in 2007, so that should pretty much tell you everything you need to know. I mean, this game did not have any lasting power whatsoever. So yeah, that's Wing Commander for you, the biggest bomb of the entire weekend, and that's saying a whole lot. And so with that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. When we meet next time, we'll look at 4 movies, including Forces of Nature with Ben Affleck and Sandra Bullock, Clint Eastwood's latest film, True Crime, the animated feature The King and I, and also Ravenous. So 4 films to look at next time. We'll delve into those next time on the next episode. So until then, thank you very much for watching. And as always, if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the playlist on the next page. Check out the previous episode. And also don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this on this channel. So with that said, I am off. I'll see you guys next time. And until then, as always, take care.